UK rejects visa for girl left destitute in Jamaica by Hurricane Melissa. An 8-year-old girl left destitute in Jamaica after Hurricane Melissa has been barred from coming to the UK to join her parents. The Guardian reported on the case of Lati Yani Stephanie Brown after the hurricane. Her mother, Corinne Bigby, a carer, moved from Jamaica to be with Lanti Yanni's British father, Jerome Hardy, a telecommunications worker, in April 2023, leaving their daughter to be cared for by her grandmother. The couple married this year, and after saving up for the $4,000 visa application fee for Lanti Yanni to join them, applied in June after Hurricane Melissa. The couple urged the Home Office to expedite their visa decision, saying an urgent situation had become an emergency. The hurricane destroyed the house Lanti Yanni was living in with her grandmother, who Bigby said was no longer physically able to look after her, in Cash Hill, Hanover, which was badly damaged by the storm. UNICEF has launched an appeal to help an estimated 1.6 million children in the region get access to essentials such as clean water, education, and nutrition supplies. Officials at the Home Office have now rejected the visa application. In its refusal letter to Lanti Yanni, Home Office officials state, while it is acknowledged the effects of the natural disaster have significantly affected you and the wider population of Jamaica, I am also aware that you continue to reside with family members, stating that your grandmother is unable to provide care. Evidence of this has not been demonstrated. It has therefore not been demonstrated that you could not be cared for by relatives in the country you currently reside. Lanti Yanni's parents said they were devastated by the decision and would appeal against it. However, their lawyer said an appeal backlog of 106,000 cases meant it could take up to 2 years for the case to be heard. Bigby said, as her mother, being separated from my daughter is incredibly painful. I cannot sleep at night knowing she is far away, not receiving the care and support that every child needs. The emotional toll on both of us is significant. Reuniting with my daughter is not just a wish, it's a necessity for her development and my ability to fulfill my responsibilities as her mother. I am so distressed. I cannot sleep or eat. This story to me, crazy, absolutely crazy. I mean, her mom's here. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't get how this is even a conversation. And this is what I say, Noble, that the community have been disrespected time after time. You know, these are the people that were called here after the war. You see what I mean? Let's keep this thing 1,000. Now, the reality is, yeah, and I want to steal one of the callers' bars, you know, big up a caller. But it's easier to get into the UK than for the mans who was fighting for you, man.
Get the fuck out of here,
That's
man.
crazy to me.
Please.
That's
Please,
crazy.
get the fuck out of here, man.
Come through, Noble. Come through, man. Come through. Chat. Let's warm this up, man.
Absolute insanity on both sides. So UNICEF is talking about, was it 1.2? What was it? 1.2 million or billion? Million, right?
Let's get back to that.
In that UNICEF thing, yeah.
Million.
Right, what? Million, okay. Yeah, that's all gravy. That's blessed. Jamaica is part of the Commonwealth with a government, an established government. What the hell? Let's stay, pardon yourself, let's stay in the Caribbean where this actually took place. What the hell are they doing? What's the government doing? I'm seeing videos of people mending pipes themselves to connect water. I'm seeing people them from the early days of the after effects clearing roads and stuff, man. What are we doing? What's going on? We're voting, we're paying taxes for us to be secure, and in these desperate times for the governmental system to support the people them. That's number one. Number two, the brains of the beast is going to continue to what the hell they do.
The fact.
Yeah? You got the Ukrainian people then. Oh yeah, man, look, if you got a spare bedroom in your house and you live in Birmingham, let one of these Ukrainian people in there and we'll pay you. But for a natural disaster, Commonwealth country, they're saying the little child can't come and be reunited with their her parents. What kind of, that's just evil and wicked. But again, I expect nothing less from these people. My expectations are, haven't been dashed at all, because this is what they do. It's unforgivable. It's terrible, man. It's terrible.
The girl should be here. There should have been that shouldn't even have been. There isn't even anything to think about with that. This is an island that these people colonized the island. Let's keep this thing 1,000. You colonize, man. You see what I'm saying? So now there has been a natural disaster that has left many people separated and etc. etc. There's a lot of parents that are here. You know how the thing goes now, but you know how many of us done these things back in the days. Now what I'm saying now is there's no discussion to have. Let the little girl come and reunite with her mom. It's as simple as that. There isn't no debate to have. But again, what this shows you is that we're not important. We're not important, because look at this situation, yeah? It's a natural disaster that's came, This is a natural disaster, that came through. And what she's saying is, yo, send me let me reunite with my daughter after this natural disaster. This is not something this isn't far-fetched. She's saying, yo, devastation has taken place. I'm already living here. This isn't based on the article. This isn't some unscrupulous people, Noble.
Come on.
The partner is working. These people are paying into the system. They're not taking from. That's what I'm saying.
One's in the care system and one's in the telecommunication team.
Exactly.
And let's also highlight the fact that they haven't said, yo, just because the hurricanes happened, we want our daughter here. From what you read, this was a process that was going on from before, and now the sodomies, they're like, yo, bring her come now, bring her come quick. You want to hear now after what's happened?
That's it. So it's something that they were already working on getting done. And the people them have just boxed away her hand, man. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Ari, how is this legal though? If they have a parent here, surely you can bring your child over. My friend at work is Polish, got a Polish girl pregnant, and her and the child are now living with him in London. Why do they even need UK permission? So basically, Ari, with your Polish brethren, my friend at work is Polish. So if he's Polish, meaning if he has a British passport and he's gone over to Poland, got a Polish girl pregnant, that child is British. The child's British. Yeah. So same like you, Ari, if you went to Grenada and you got a girl pregnant in Grenada, that child's British. The child's dual citizen. He's automatically entitled to a passport. However, if you do not have a British passport and you go Grenada and you get a girl pregnant, you need to now, as we know, do what's called sending for her, where you need to go through the actual money. You need to have a certain amount of money. You need to pay for health surcharge, all that type of stuff. That's how it works.
Interviewed multiple times as well, sibling. Let's not get the most important thing. You have multiple interviews to come to the house, all them thing there.
Exactly. So you got to go through all of that. Now, put it like this. First of all, it costs a lot to go through this. It costs a lot. That's the first thing. Secondly, if you get through the cost of it, now they're going to start asking you about your future plans, etc., etc. So once you get through all of that stuff, it's already been quite daunting already. It's like you're begging them for something. And no, but let's keep it real. It's almost like you're begging them, boss. And then when you really check it out, if you bowl into Bromtown Centre, you see every manner of the bottom rung of societies around the world. I'm talking about, it's like they've gone to these countries and said, give me the worst.
Yes, come on, Mark.
Give me the worst of this country. Let me bring. So in my head, I'm like, how do all them man get here? How do all these man who are smoking spice on the streets, who don't even speak with a Brom accent, how did they get here? But this little girl, who the hurricanes come through, mash up her place, the nan is unable to look after the little girl now. Yeah, it doesn't matter what no one wants to say. Yeah, you got to think about the emotional distress. Also, forget about the physical damage. Forget about all that stuff. Just think about the emotional side of things. I seen a video, where there was this big woman sitting down in her yard, and her roof just came off, Noble.
Yeah.
Have you seen that video?
Yeah.
She's sitting down in her yard, and the roof just comes off. Like, literally, like, people don't understand how the emotional distress that the Jamaicans are going through right now. Britain,
know
it's a
it's
disrespect.
sexy.
It's a disrespect, man.
It's a slap in the face.
They've slapped us in our face because, what does Commonwealth mean? What does it mean? What does Commonwealth mean? In my head, I'm like, yo, Commonwealth, like, what's the point linking up with this? What's the point being involved in this if it has no perks? Where's the perks? What's the point being with the Commonwealth if this little girl can't link her mum? Yard need to separate, man. Immediately separate and build up the aisle. I don't get the point of being in the Commonwealth and we got no perks. The Ukraine is, let's really talk. The Ukraine is, they weren't even on your side, rude boy, in the war. They was fighting with the axes. They was fighting with the axes. Let's really talk, because certain men don't really want to talk these things. The Ukrainians were fighting with the axes.
Yes.
So I'm saying to you, we held you down. No, these are facts. These are Bible facts. We held you down, man, on more than one front.
And rebuilt this whole thing as well.
Listen, man, we held you down on more than one front, rude boy. On more than one front. And this is stretching back to World War I.
Yes.
To World War, and you try right man out of that. In school, no, but I'm telling you.
SS Battalion, remember the SS battalions?
Yeah, man. In school, no, but they never taught us nothing about that, man. Nothing about. They never told us nothing about that. Nothing that we were there. That we was there fighting cyber.
We had bones in our nose, remember, swinging from trees, according to how they figured this. The white man came and civilized the whole thing, man, gave us clothes to wear, and we was just grunting, apparently, you know what I mean? We're not the mothers and fathers of damn civilization, according to the damn demon, man.
Yeah, I don't know what these men are on. We held you down, man. Held you down, like, to the point where RAF, Caribbean mans flew in that. You see what I mean? Just put in consistent work. And don't get it, big up Luke. Luke put a video in of a brother from Trinidad. The brother it was quite sad to watch because the man there was just brainwashing over from early. They brainwashed them, man. But in my head, I'm like, regardless, we did that for Britain. Now I'm saying to myself, we're talking 80 years ago. That don't mean nothing. So I'm saying that don't mean nothing because there's another group of people who held down the British, you know. They don't get their dues, no, but the Sikhs, man. They held down They held the British down, man, in a real way. I've been watching that guy, that guy, Aaron the plumber. He's funny still, but they held them down. Really, that man shouldn't need a visa to ever enter this off of what their ancestors done. So I'm saying, really,
carpet business, all we receiving for what the works our foreparents are putting.
That's it.
To allow the brains of the beast to flourish. Never mind the belly of the beast.
This is what I'm saying, man. It's an absolute joke. I'm going to read some of these comments though. It's an absolute joke. So for me, it's like they're making people jump through hoops.
Crazy.
They're making people jump through hoops. And I'm saying, like, realistically, the little girl, all it should be is a thing like what it was with the Ukrainians, rude boy. When they had their thing, they set a thing up that their thing came first. They set a thing in place that the people of the Ukraine took precedence over anybody else. You know that, innit? Over anybody else. Now, I'm saying...
And how many do we have in Brum? 250,000?
You see what I'm trying to say? Now, remember this, no, but they ain't gonna be no queue of people from Yard wanting to come like that, you know. It'll only be a few people. So, to me, I don't get what it is these people are doing, man. But let's read two of these comments. Aisha, if England had a heart, they would allow Jamaicans to come to the UK on a refugee basis. I am surprised the Home Office did this. I am as well. Jamaican government hasn't handed out aid yet after 4 weeks. You know what it is? There's a lot of people who are benefiting from the hurricane in Jamaica. Let me just tell you like that. A lot of people are benefiting. Yeah, a lot of government people are benefiting because remember, a lot of this money that is being sent over and things, they're being sent to certain places where the man who's getting the things, he's able to make the decision where it goes. That's crazy. Luke, can't stop Pakistanis. These Englishmen love kebab and curry. They buy more of that than any jerk or bammy. Yeah. Curry's like a unofficial British dish. The man, remember they had the song Vindaloo. Yeah, you remember that song? Vindaloo, it's a curry. Man's made the song Vindaloo because man love them things. Carlos, so no, Aisha, Windrush report that was written by the government stated that they put immigration laws in place to keep Caribbeans out. This is just an example of this. Yeah, facts, real talk. Because I don't see how that is, I don't see how they've been able to get away with that, but hopefully there's a follow-up on that story. Carlos, so no, Mark, we ain't important. English-speaking girl from the Commonwealth with British citizen parents. Us as Caribbeans have zero economic power. We fought for every group except ourselves. Caribbeans need a FUBU approach, for us by us. So embarrassing, man. Black identity in isolation means nothing. Will probably lead music or sport at best. Facts, Carlos. So real talk. There's zero economic power and there's zero bargaining power as well, like numbers, because we don't speak with one voice. Like, let's say they tried to violate the Indian. Let's say that this was an Indian girl. The story don't even make it to the paper before they sort it out.
Well, also within there, see, they wouldn't even need to rely on the government per se.
Yeah.
They would, you know what I mean? And you know what? Not just talking the thing, they got the Fed and they will do things and know how to sign certain paperwork. They'll get that girl over here.
Yeah. It should be, no, it wouldn't even, no, but there wouldn't even be a convo. If that was the Indians, they wouldn't need to even discuss it how we're discussing it, because there'd just be there'd be a call made to somebody somewhere and then it'd just be sorted out. Rasan, Jamaica has no UK disaster resettlement visa scheme like Ukraine does. Instead, the child applied through the standard family reunification visa, which requires evidence that no one else in Jamaica can realistically care for her. The Home Office ruled this was not proven, particularly the grandmother's medical inability and the absence of other capable relatives, whereas Ukraine cases benefit from special humanitarian evacuation routes that override the normal care alternative test and prioritize immediate safety from war. And I get that, but my thing is this. My whole thing's been this, you know. The UK, people, just go back into the history. Britain linked up with the Soviet Union, you know. Britain linked up with the Soviet Union to fight the Germans. It was the Soviet Union, the Americans, and the British. One of the superest powers the world's ever seen.
The Allies.
The Allies. But remember this, the Russians, with the Soviet Union, they invaded Poland as well, you know. All right. Enough people don't say that. The Soviet Union and the Germans had a deal in place that they would both invade Poland. And Stalin, remember Hitler and Stalin had an agreement. Yes, and then Hitler said, you know what, fuck all of that. I'm invading your thing. Yeah. Remember on the day when he was invading, Stalin was phoning Munich, you know, or Berlin, to say, rude boy, what are you doing? Now, why I'm saying all of that is to say that the Ukraine was riding with them. So 80 years on, they've got their problem. I'm not saying that you hold grudges or nothing, but one set of people, their ancestors were with you.
Exactly.
You could phone them. You could literally phone them and say, rude boy, look at the flyer that I put up where the king at the time put the flyer out to the Caribbean and was talking about, big up yourselves. You're doing a great job. God save the Queen and all them kind of things. Remember that flyer? Now, what I'm saying to you is one side of the people were your allies that you could call upon, and you did call upon them, and they held you down in a real flamboyant way to the point that you won the thing. And even when you won it, you still violated our people.
Still violated the team.
Even when you won, you never even let man come and drink a beer on it, and we just Bible facts. Like, you violated the elders, man. And now you're still violating the people, even now. Because look, all I would need to do is play one video, you know, right now and show you how them UK, man, really got down during World War II, you know. All I'd need to do is play one video to show you how the man them really got down during that time. Now, the reason I'm saying all of that is to say this, that in today's world, the group of people that were with you are having difficulties to enter your space. But the group of people that were not only against you, but that were keeping up some of the most despicable, heinous acts that this earth has ever seen are actually given priority. Now, this is why I look at certain people that come from our group and I'm puzzled at how they make their life decisions.
Very much.
Because this was 80 years ago, Noble. Just 80 years ago. You could actually see some of these footages that have been reinstalled, that have been brought back to life. You see what I'm saying? It's violation, man. It's violation of the highest level, And then think about it, even some of them UKians was coming here and saying, I don't like the house that being put in.
Don't like the food,
you don't like the house. So when did beggars become choosers? Because in my head, I'm riding with the man who backed me. Even if it is 100, I'm riding with the ancestors that backed me. That's who's getting the priority in my world. But I'm seeing that we ain't getting none of those priorities. We're getting disrespected.
Well, Mark, your mindset is based on logic and equality as well. Whereas clearly the equality side is not extended to us. Only the Most High knows why they hold us in the regard that they hold us and do the things that and all the things that they've done over this 400 plus year period. The craziest thing is we're here when we ain't going nowhere. We are not going nowhere. So natural disasters, this and that, the original man and the original woman will not leave this plane of existence.
Facts.
Not by their doing. This is a speed bump. I feel my heart goes out to the family, man. Prayers will be sent. You know what I mean? But this ain't gonna stop us. This ain't gonna stop us, man. This is an awful situation, and it's highlighting exactly what you're saying. Let's fortify the CARICOM thing, boss. Let's start linking them all with Mother Africa, that huge continent, yeah, man, and start dealing with the right prime ministers and presidents of those places to enrich ourselves and protect ourselves.
That's a fact.
Help one another.
That's a fact. I seen a newspaper article that was published a very, very long time ago. And it had 3 giants. One was India, one was China, and one was Africa. Then it had 2 smaller people. One was America and one was Britain. Yeah. And then the heading of the cartoon was, imagine if they wake up. They were talking about the giants. Imagine if, and then what the person was saying who was posting it is, only one has woken up. And you know who that is? China.
Yeah.
So in my head, I was like, it's true, you know. Think about it. You have to empower yourself. You can never really get nowhere begging no one for nothing.
No.
They empowered themselves. Let's keep it real. Yes. And they didn't build their thing like the UAE off the backs of others. Don't get it twisted. They have their things still. They have their things, but they didn't get down how they got down. And you see how their thing's looking right now. The other day, they had a celebration. I mentioned it on Unfiltered. They had a celebration of every year, the date when the Japanese surrendered. The Chinese have a massive celebration because they hate them. They hate them and they hate what they've done to them. And this is what I'm trying to say to you is like, even to this day, you know, Noble, they would love to be able to, but they can't though.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So check
exactly. That. Revenge.
Yeah, revenge.
It's complicated because you're right in exactly the history is all laid out if you want to research it. Look what the Chinese did in Taiwan.
What did they do over there?
They've been trying to take that thing over for ages and all that. It's technically sovereign, and there's the US currency, I believe, that runs that in regards to import and all that. But China wants that.
But they've never invaded it though.
Yeah.
They've invaded. China's invaded it.
Yeah, man. China had control of Taiwan for a while. It's only like 100 odd years or something like that since they've now got their independence and their flag, but they're still under that kind of looming fear because it's importance. Because think about it, going back to even when people wasn't even around, it used to say "made in China" on everything, all your things, yeah. Then they switched it up to say "made in Taiwan."
Oh yes, yeah.
Remember that thing?
Yeah.
Because that was all about the tariffs and all that. It's like what Trump's doing now. It's nothing new under the sun, man. It's just cycles and things. So yeah, man, China has a big importance of regaining that territory. And Taiwanese people, some of them have got some not nice thoughts in regards to China, mainland China.
Yeah, that's crazy. Because the Nanking, what's it called, man? Yo, Fresh Goodbye, you in here? When the Japanese landed in China. Just read about it, innit? Just
I
read.
know, it's
Don't listen.
disgusting.
Just read. Just go onto Google and just read. Innit? Just read.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, after I read that, I realized why the man them dropped the thing. I realized. I'm gonna keep it real. The only thing I'm saying is civilians were affected. But I see
A lot.
they could have never ever invaded that noble. That would have been a bloodbath. It would have been an Japan.
Oh,
America couldn't have invaded
yeah.
that. They couldn't have invaded that. Because remember, the Japanese were saying to their people, we fight till the very last man, woman, and child.
Yes.
That's what they were saying. We fight into the very last man, woman, and child. That's why the Americans said we can't go in there.
And also, because now they remember they had, unless am I wrong? Didn't they have the prisoners? Didn't have American prisoners and stuff? And when they came back,
Yeah, the Japanese. Yeah, they had thousands of American prisoners of war.
And then remember when they came back, and there was a lot of them had been quote unquote mind controlled and turned into communists.
Nah, I didn't know about that. Nah.
Yeah, a lot. No, I can't give the figure because this is obviously I ain't done the knowledge on this in quite some time. But American soldiers came back, and it was a portion of them who were saying, "F you and the horse you came in on with this capitalism business. You sent me over there to go kill Mr. China man, Mr. Japanese man even. And yo, they're living their life doing their things a wiggle man. We need to be adopting more of the communist ways and give people an equal playing field rather than all this kind of foolishness that we have gone in on here." As a result of that, they were like, yo, if they've got the power to do that, and that's when you get Project Artichoke, that's when you get MK Ultra, Project Mockingbird, and all these things when they start looking into how can we utilize technology like that? How can we quote unquote brainwash someone and install ideas and ideologies into their mind and thing?
You're going somewhere very, very deep now, because they're struggling with that in today's world. So the Japanese there's a name for it, of people who just don't go out. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Can you get the name up so we can say the name to the chat? There's a name of people, and it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen here in Britain.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that's gonna happen here in the next 30 years. I think they'll start having that. But in Japan, yeah, they have people in Japan who just don't go out or don't mix with no one due to the pressures of society. To where Japan they're actually putting measures in place now that they can they want to sort of curb the problem. You see what I mean? Because you've got people that just don't go nowhere, to where you've even got parents who are still housing 50-year-old children and stuff. You see what I mean? It's really bad. But Britain, I'm telling you now, Britain's heading that way. It's heading that way.
I think I've got it. Hikikomori.
Is that the name?
A Japanese person living in isolation is called Hikikomoro.
Yeah, whatever the name is, that's it. But there's a lot of them people now, yeah?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people like that now in Japan, to the point where Japan is a state of emergency, and Japan are having to do things to get these people out because of all the pressure of society. Now, if you look at Britain, they're going down the same route where people can't own their own home. People are working 12 hours. People are just going to start to say, fuck it, mate. I'll just sign on and just live in my yard. That's what's going to start to happen, because how you got a man who's working 5 out of 7, 12-hour shifts, that the Most High didn't send you here to do that. So when you're doing that, naturally you're messing with your head, ain't you?
Yes.
So naturally people are going to give up, and that's what's happening in Japan. Ari, Ukraine had one of the coldest SS battalions. Listen, them man were keeping up absolute madness. I remember I told you there were certain Brits, and Americans. If you were SS, you were a gunner, bro. Gone. They didn't even bring you as a prisoner of war. From you were SS, you were gone. That's how bad that battalion was supposed to have been. Rasan, remember, a big part of the issue is Jamaican government have escalated the hurricane to national disaster level, which allows for additional emergency movement of people. And also, as I looked into, it put more of a spotlight on what aid can be received into the country and how and where it is spent. Okay, I hear that return. Aisha, up until the early 2000s, Jamaicans didn't need a visa, but a lot of people caused trouble and overstayed, so the UK changed the law. All right, let me break that down for you. So, do you remember, I'm 38, yeah, but growing up, there was a period where TV shows, movies, games, popular culture, pushed this thing of like yardies. You remember that?
Yes.
You remember like there was a lot of like popularized
documentaries,
a lot of talk about yardie. And they,
the yardie gangs.
Yardie gangs and yardie. It was just yardie. That's all you heard about these yardies. They made out like every Jamaican was a part of this. And they were successful in their campaign to where they were actually, the elders like my nan's generation. That's what made them separate. That's what made that generation separate from the generations that come after it.
Yes.
That helped create the disconnect that what got going on today. Because what happened is, your nan and your granddad and all them people that had left started being educated that it had become almost this unruly, like ghetto, like shootings, kill at will. Like it just became that. You get me? So that a lot of the elders now, they were like, we ain't like that.
And that's not us.
That's not us. I remember the couple children that they had left out there, they're like, that ain't them. So they started to more, okay, this is where we're at now. Let's just focus on this. That's what happened. Some man's parents and that just never even went back. Just said I ain't going back. Whereas like people like my nan and that, they would go back every year. You see what I'm saying?
Maintain that connection.
Exactly. But it's just a situation where they had changed the identity of what a Jamaican was.
Yes.
Like if you go onto YouTube now and type in ska, and you're gonna see some big man with trumpets and and freaking suits and trilby hats and all that. That was a decent set of people.
Yep.
But what happened is they were able to change the identity of that people to skin out slackness, violence, whoring, all that nonsense, and that became the identity of our beautiful country. And when that happened, many people fed into that. You see what I mean? And many people jumped into that way of doing things. So like a lot of these, man, like I said, we've said it a million times. A lot of these guys, these were the weaker strands of the community. These were the weak strands. None of these men were mentally strong. They were the people that were mashing up our name, our good name in the country.
Yes.
And once they mashed it up, they ran over to the Arab man. You see what I'm saying? They mashed it up. Then they ran to the Arab man and they dare not mash up his. Matter of fact, they can't mash up his thing even if they wanted to. No. So now they're over there flying his flag. You get what I mean? After they've already mashed up our world over the past few decades. It's just a slackness skin out. I don't know nothing about them things. I don't know nothing about them things, star. But that's what the identity of our people became. And that's where when they say when good people just keep their mouth quiet, that's what happens. To where now, if you look at a lot of these men, when they're talking about Jamaica, they're only talking about the negative aspects of Jamaica. You don't never hear them talk about a black star line or nothing like that. You don't never hear them speak nothing about things that we brought to this world, to the black world, of things that, leaders and minds that we've brought to the world, where other corners of the world have actually looked and embraced these ideas. But these people don't talk none of these things or nothing. They just speak about the lowest form of the community. So I'll leave that there. Rasan, the Sikhs story got erased from World War I and II, but in the last decade, they pushed back with it. And I think they got their acknowledgement at the coronation. Caribbeans didn't do the same extent. That's because the Caribbean offspring, it's not important to them. There was a brother, it was not important to them. There's a brother in on this Patreon, and his granddad fought in the war. And I remember one time I must have said I said something anyway, and he posted the picture and said, "Yo, that's my granddad. Proud." You see what I'm saying? Like my granddad fought in this thing, and A, B, or C. S-Man, its peak. They were quick to pattern up the Ukrainian people. Yeah, facts. And they were warring with them. Rasan, I hear that, but I feel the West African contribution is the most erased. They called them the Forgotten Army. They fought in Burma from 1942 to 1945 against the Japanese alongside the Indians. That's facts, S-Man. The Africans, they violated you, man, as well. They did. They violated you, man, in World War I and II, because you, man, had battalions, just African battalions. You had that.
Yes.
I don't know where you didn't fight You never fought with the BWIR mans because of the language barrier. Because how I know this is from a historian, a white historian, Noble, who not a white war historian, and how they did it is they had bare colonies in it. So they go to they even had a Gambian battalion. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They had Ghana, all them mans fought, all them brothers fought.
And Senegal for France, eh?
That's what that's what I'm saying. All them brothers fought, but I don't get why them men try to erase. I don't get it. But the Sikh grandchildren, they know that their people had a very important part to play. They actually wore turbans,
Yes.
So you gotta think you got this army of men in turbans that are fighting for the British. Like, come on. I remember Churchill used to link up with the Sikhs directly during World War II. They hid so much from people. No wonder so much communities are just messed up now. They don't even know nothing about their history, nothing at all.
This is it.
Like, think about it. If you watch that film, 1917, that movie, bad boy movie, listen, you don't see one black man at all. So you're watching this movie thinking, these men had the coldest war, ABOS, and there was whole battalions just of Caribbean men. They didn't even put a nod to it or, just even a quick, nothing. They just ripped mans out completely and made out that you, man, just won this thing on your own and you didn't. And the facts are, if we weren't present right now, you mans will be speaking German right now. I'm keeping it real.
No way.
You be speaking German. Remember, we don't know about these level of cruelty, We don't come from that. We don't know about this level of cruelty. And Asia, Ukraine hasn't done anything for Britain at all, unlike the Caribbean. Man, my grandpops was a World War II veteran. None of them did not get a pension or war gratitude, disability benefits if injured. We don't know what happened to his war medals. I have in the past wrote to the MOD. They pardoned me off to the Nigerian military, who in turn have pardoned me off back to the MOD. Crazy. Sorry, you had to go through that, man. Whereas now, if you go to an indigenous household,
come on, they got
he's got his thing in the fireplace. That was my granddad. You see what I mean? But us now, you're having to fight to see even where your people fought. Rassam posted a link, and if you click on that link, it shows all countries from the Caribbean, and you can look for your name. We'll repost that. So you can look for your name and see if any of your surname was in it. I had a couple still on my mum and dad's side. I was able to see both surnames. I don't know if they were related to us, but you know how the thing goes. And if you are lucky, some of them even have the picture on it. Yeah, some even have the picture. Crazy. S-man, bruv, this Ukrainian thing, man's sipping Tetley. They are ingrated Nazis. I'm wondering, should I play that video I'm talking about? The Ukraine thing.
Man, run it.
I'm going to run it, man. I'm going to run it in a second. Harry, they are still trying to take Taiwan. Oh, for real?
Yeah, man, it's serious business. They got ships at the early part of the year or middle part of the year. They had ships posted up, man. They were literally talking about, because America, Jamaica is a vital part in the Caribbean, just like Taiwan is a vital part for the South, wherever the hell that is, Pacific, wherever the hell that something is. America is constantly putting their thing in. Like when you go to Taiwan, I got a brethren who lives there. He's been there. He's about like 8 years now, probably even longer. It's little America, clean order and everything, but little America, man, little America. A lot of American imports that come in there. It's a boiling pot.
That's the thing about Sudan. Same thing with Sudan. The river. There's a place where all the countries, it's beneficial. Like it's like a central hub, and a lot of you can make a lot of money. Whoever's got control of that space.
Exactly.
There's a lot of money. Same, like you said, Jamaica, same thing, massive hub. You see what I mean? Same thing. Close to the States, Florida.
Yes.
You see what I mean? So I know exactly what you're saying. Harry, did you hear about the Japanese soldier on a small island? Yes. He was told to defend. He was there for 30 years before someone told him the war was over. Yeah, listen, the Japanese are proper.
Yeah, man.
Patriotic.
Patriotic.
Proper patriotic. Listen, them man, they had a thing called kamikaze pilots, yeah?
Yes.
Let me
Come on,
break it
Mark.
down to you. So as
Come
the
with
war
it.
was going on, Japan, Mitsubishi, so
Come on,
Mitsubishi made all their planes.
Yep.
But as the war was going on, they were unable to create bombs or anything again. So you know what they did, people? They went to their best pilots, you know,
Yeah.
the best Japanese pilots, the youngest Japanese pilots, and said, yo, you're not going to drop no bombs. You're going to fly the plane directly into the ship. You're the bomb.
ships, yeah.
You're the bomb. And if the man them said they weren't doing it, they even executed some of them.
Executed them, yes.
Yo,
yes,
it's
yes.
a wicked set of people, man. A terrible set of people. I'm telling you now, they even executed their own people who didn't do it. And remember, they couldn't win the war, you know. Pearl Harbor was one of the most stupidest things. That was one of the silliest things you could have did. Because you couldn't beat them. America, you can't.
By design, man.
You couldn't beat them.
You
Couldn't. Pearl Harbor, you done that move. No, but you know when they did Pearl Harbor? Before Pearl Harbor, America said, we don't want nothing to do with the war. Nothing. Nothing at all. You know when Pearl Harbor happened?
That was the excuse. No.
Yeah.
Let me tell
man.
real, in my opinion, the real part of history.
Yeah.
You're exactly right. Mainstream, yeah. Driven by the populi. The populi were saying, nah, boss, we ain't messing around with another one of these things. Nah, loud the thing. So then they had, according to alternative history, had the phone call. Oh, they're trying that, are they? Yo, let it run true still. Make it run. Because when that drops, we're going to war. And war equals what? Domination, sacrificial lives taken, and most importantly, corporation make the munitions, the planes, everything else. Our money I run, bread.
Exactly. And remember this, you know, not even one battle was fought on American soil.
Not one.
Not even one. World War I, World War II, not even one. Britain too. There weren't even one battle fought on don't get it. I know mans were bombing up the place, but there weren't no mans fighting V, man. That was the French that had to endure them kind of things. The opening scene of Dunkirk, listen, the opening scene of Dunkirk, you see the 4 British soldiers walking in France. Yeah, then the Germans was come out of nowhere and pepper them. Yes. And one of them runs to the French, and the French are peppering him, and he's saying, yo, I'm English. And then the French say, come, and he runs over, and you see the French standing up there. They had it hard, you know, no.
Come on.
Because they were the place that always was getting invaded. Yes. So I'm saying in Saving Private Ryan, that's France. Imagine a man just come to your ends and just upside down it like that. Okay, so we had the name, the Himakamoro, whatever that was called. Yeah. That's gonna happen here. I'm telling you, Ari.
Building it.
Facts. Too much technology in Japan. The men don't want to have kids, rather be gaming all day. That's crazy. S-Man, have you not seen the video on Instagram? They did a social experiment in a Chinese city. They laid out the Japanese flag on the pavement, and passing pedestrians were just going about their everyday regular business, and people were just making beelines to walk over, to trample and mush up the Japanese flag. That's how deep the hate and refusal to let bygones be bygones. Listen, they'll never forgive that.
No.
They'll never. I'm telling you, it may not happen in our lifetime, but that the sequel to that has to go on. It has to go on at some point. It has to. Like, the facts are that them, man, the Chinese literally have a class where they teach their people about what went on. I remember they burnt all their literature as well, you know.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, man, they burnt all their literature. So them mans literally hate them, man, with a passion, a real passion. Luke, man are locked in digging out AI sex dolls. No need to go outside. Yeah, it's crazy. It's going to get wicked out here, you know. I'm telling you, because that Japanese thing, I encourage all of you, you know, to go and study that, because that's going to become a problem here. Because there's too much pressure on people. Look, they're already reporting it now. When they're saying highest numbers of unemployment, it's not because there's no jobs. It's because people are just now saying, I ain't working at all. Like, I'll just freaking sit at home or whatever. And that's what they're doing. CFR network definition, a state of severe social withdrawal where individuals stay at home for more than 6 months. Criteria: the Japanese Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare defines it as a lifestyle centered at home with no interest in school or work, and a duration of at least 6 months. Causes: possible causes include illnesses, workplace issues, or difficulty entering the job market. Demographics: according to the government study, a large number of people affected are in their 40s and 50s. People, it's a major problem. Yeah, it's a major problem, and Japan have really suffered with it. Like, I'm on about on a major level, because a lot of people just gave up. They just gave up because of the pressures. And what I'm saying here is, in the UK, they've introduced these same pressures. There is some serious pressures on our young people. And I'm telling you now, if you think about it, I've seen certain men who don't work, in and out of prison their whole life, and they look better than people that have worked and tried to play the game their whole life. So with that being said, that problem, what's going on in Japan, could become a problem here. That's a fact. S-man, yeah, the Japanese society has a very bad incel and femcel issue. That's why they wanted to initially invite high-skilled Africans over, because they know they will breed their girl and give them an African gene of sustainability and use their sustainability. Their population is not growing, but a lot of Japanese nationalists shut down the potential motion. So you know that Japanese tennis player, Naomi Osaka, she's half black. That's who S-man's talking about. She's half black. Luke, slackness is at its peak. Watched the Pop the Balloon JA the other day and saw a man asking gal if they F good and if the front is tight. Even had a man ask if gal would let him yam the front. Yeah, that's mad. I used to watch that still for laughs, but when they started going New York and that, and they went Canada, I said, nah, this is some degeneration behavior. So I just said, let me separate myself from this content. You see what I mean? Because it started to get silly. It did. Like, it's starting to get too silly, and it's just getting silly, that type of content. S-man.
Mark, before you continue with the comment, what righteous or right-minded male would ask a woman that in public anyway?
Real talk. They've normalized foolishness, no. S-man, I see some links between the post-70s Jamaica and the pipeline for drugs from Colombia into the Caribbean and the rise of gunman culture. Luke, embarrassing to see the culture this deep in the gutter. Facts, Luke. Facts. Look, it's embarrassing because it's like the community have allowed this. So when we see it now, we're like, damn, it's crazy. Like, we've allowed this. Rasan, they erase the history because they want the contribution, but they don't want the country saying they fought for this land and claiming their entitlement. Hence the term a whitewash. Facts. Big facts. The whitewash. Listen, it's absolute facts, because remember, like what we're saying now about the little girl where this conversation started, we have done enough that there should be no confusion. It should just be, yo, what your people them did, listen, man, come true. I'm not saying just let everyone just come like that, but that little girl come true. And like I said, man, I'll play that video I'm talking about still, because this is true stuff that went down.
What's that saying? Out of sight, out of mind. Exactly. Remove and whitewash our history. So, unless you do this, the study, and you sit at the feet of the elders to get the information, whatever's portrayed and promoted out and AI'd out these days, you say, oh, okay, we were just in the Caribbean. I'm glad to be here, man, because if I was back in the Caribbean, in the West Indies, I don't know what I'd be doing. What's the internet like over there? Look at the roads. There's no 24-hour, what is it? What's the damn thing? Where you can get the food delivered and all that.
Uber Eats
and all of that. Oh, I can't get that over there. Yeah, man. I'm glad I'm in England, because we got Becky and all them as well. You know what I mean? We got subways and all. Damn this boss.
Yeah, man. You
don't know your history. You're a failure in the present and the future. It doesn't make any sense, but in the current climate, Mark, it's softened because if one of those Ukrainian people who have come from the supposed war, which I say, if they don't open their mouth, they just look like an indigenous person from over here, right?
Exactly.
They can blend in. As long as they keep their mouth shut, they can blend in real nice. But at the current climate, with the division and the separation and the highlighting of melanated people, not specifically us, but they're trying to bring us into the thing. They're talking about, the Muslims, separation, divide and conquer. We need more of one. We need more. We need 250,000 Ukrainians, white Ukrainians in Brum. That's what we need, because we've had an influx of Somalis. We've had the Ukrainian. We've had the Ethiopian. We've had fill in the blank. They're like, nah, boss, let's bring them combat. And you know what we'll even do? We'll pay residents to put them up in the house. That's what we'll do. We'll give them a little debit cards, 6 bills, whatever the hell they're putting, they're topping up on these little pay-as-you-go debit card thing. And where you go. Okay. But as we're talking, man, sister in there from the Commonwealth. So again, let's rewind time, because it's like people must have forgotten the wealth generated in the brains of the beast was where was it all generated, Mark?
Yeah, yeah, fact.
The majority of it was generated in the Caribbean. Then they went to East India and started getting the diamonds and all that. And they went to damn Africa. Everywhere where there's melanated people, they're taking the living piss out of
people. I hope you enjoyed that clip. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to watch the stream in full, consider becoming a Patreon or joining our YouTube members. And don't forget to hit the like button, folks, and we'll see you in the next one.